I'm really not that important. And I know that some of you are going to listen to this and take this the wrong way, but I want you to listen to the whole message because I think it's incredibly important, and I hope it's going to do something to you. So I was thinking about, where I am in life and wanting to do things that actually matter. And, of course, everybody has these sort of feelings that they want to do something that matters. Maybe not everybody. I guess only a fraction of us, right? Like, I think the people that if you do a career path like I did, that you take your career seriously, you sort of buy into everything that education has to sell you, straight from ground zero, where you think like, oh man, yeah, I can do this. I can, you know, be an active change agent. I just have to be better at school. That that story that is often told, the the story that everybody understands is that the more effort you put into school, your career, the more of a positive change that you're actually going to make, and the more, as a consequence, you're going to get more resources, aka you're going to get more money, you're going to have a better life, all of those kind of things, which there's truth to some of those things, right? Like that is a nice thing to think about things. And, I think about myself is, why is it, I've done all of those things, right? I'm not trying to be narcissistic. I'm not trying to, it's just, I've done them all. And then there's a moment where you sort of have to say, what's next? What's the next big thing? And I think anybody, even if you're the president of the United States of America or any other major country, a prime minister, I think you have to think like this, that you're just not that important. And what you do just does not matter that much. It's not that big of a thing. And I know that sounds crude to say. I know a lot of you are going to take offense to this and say, he's just being completely narcissistic because he believed that the whole world revolved around him. And that's not what I'm actually saying. The key thing is to think that the world does not revolve around you, and that it continues to go around regardless of whether you're here or there, or conscious or unconscious. It's continuing to happen, and you're not even really a piece of the puzzle. I used to sort of think like that. You're just one piece of the puzzle. But in reality, you're such a small part of what's actually going on that a lot of times it just does not matter in terms of whether you're here or there. Now, what does that do when you do this? When you start thinking about this? And it allows you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Allows you to simply say, well, I can act foolish because nobody is going to see me. I've heard this idea before, this quote before, is that, and I kind of like it, is that the resources that I possess, and I think it's like, there's some religions that sort of abide by this. The resources that I have at my fingertips are not really my resources. They're God's resources. They're somebody else's. Just 1 second here. I gotta straighten out myself. I'm walking the dog. And actually, this is a perfect point. Just hold on 1 second. Now, if I was taking myself too seriously, pausing and doing something, I had to straighten out the dog. It was all around me, and pausing and telling you my real life, what is actually going on. If you think yourself is too important, if you take any of the things, if I was taking this whole reciprocity project too important, I never talk about those things. I never tell you who I am, what I'm about, all of those things, because it's not that important to the whole story of what I'm trying to do. And yet, the most important thing is actually that story. It's you getting to understand the ins and outs of who I am and what I'm about, all my deep insecurities, my fears, feeling often like, if somebody leaves not even negative comments, but like they're trying to be helpful and they're perceived negatively, even people that I know very well, if they, tackle hard things, I go spiraling out of control, right? All of those things, I just spiral out of control. And it's taken me years to unravel these things. And the only way that I've learned how to unravel a lot of these things that are deeply challenging is to simply say, I'm not that important. It's not my problem. I'm not center stage. I think it's like, I deeply, I often say it's not my problem. A lot of people probably take offense to that, but it's actually a real conscious effort on me to take a step back and say, I don't have to be there for everybody. In fact, it's healthy not to be there for everybody. Or when I say, I am not that self-important, that's healthy to be like that. That means you're not internalizing a lot of the stuff that's going on. And it's taken me a god-awful long time of working on this. And I'm still working on this because, man, somebody tells me something that's negative about myself, I spiral out of control right away. And I become a big mess. So what I want you to sort of think about is how you can look for ways that you can detach from your life and realize that you're really not that self-important. And the more that you do this, the more that you say, I'm just really not that important. It's not my problem. The more that it's freeing, and you could do a lot more important things, like often working on yourself, doing things where you just get back up and going again. And I think it takes a lot of practice to do this because it seems so important for you to get involved in things and really get attached to things, but working on that stability inside is it central to actually having a great life. It's central to going on beyond what the story tells you. Remember I told you the story, how people buy into it, and I bought into it. Man, I got there. I did the whole story. I got there, did everything I ever wanted to do, checkboxed it. But then I had to realize over a long time that I'm not that important. I'm not the story to everything. It's not my story. It's nobody's story. And you have to keep going. And the only way that I've learned how to do that is to detach from all of this and take a step back and say, I'm just not that important. And that's it. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.